What's good, my little mate? Welcome back to another lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing video of the equally lovely, equally beautiful, equally sexy, and equally amazing LiTTyENT. I already know what time it is. Now let's go. Now guys, in today's video, it's a real sad day for UK albums, as both Stefflon Don't and Headie One's albums have gone triple flapjack on the UK album charts. And we're going to break this down in way more detail. But you know what you got to do. You just got to like, comment, subscribe, something, drop a banger like this one. And hit that note, because you ain't an E, so you can be the first to know when one of these videos comes out. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, if you didn't already know, last week, both Stefflon Don't and Headie One released their latest albums. Stefflon Don't with her Island 54 album, and Headie One with his album called The Last One. And I just have to say it, both of these albums performed absolutely atrociously on the UK albums chart. The albums went triple flapjack, triple Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream, with Headie One's album selling 2,584 records first week, and Stefflon Don selling a measly 791 albums first week. What the fuck? Now, of course, we're going to break down exactly how this happened. And I really want to start with Stefflon Don't, because after all the antics that she did, you know, making people review the album and posting all the reviews to her story, her trying to beef ZZ Mills, her trying to wrap a Lamborghini in her album cover and ride it through Central, she did all of this rigmarole for 791 album sales. Honestly, like, no disrespect to Stefflon Don't and her team, but that is embarrassing. The album might as well have come out on a cassette tape. She might as well have slapped this album on a USB and handed it out at one of those stands in Westfield Stratford, like, you know what I mean? Like, 100,000 for the cheapest ring on the nigga finger, little bitch. This is terrible. Now, you're probably wondering why in Stefflon Don's case this happened, and firstly, I want to point out this is living proof that a good marketing strategy is essential for an artist to flourish. Nobody gives a toss if you make UK gossip TV change their profile picture to your album and all that nonsense that people are doing lately. I don't know why her and Jay Huss did. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares if the profile's changed to, huh? I don't care, don't care, I don't care, don't care. Like, nobody cares if you wrap a Lamborghini in your album cover. Like, nobody sees nonsense like that and thinks, I guess I should check out that new Stefflon Don't album. Like, that's not how people's brains work. At the end of the day, it comes down to the music. And yeah, don't get me wrong, Stefflon Don't had a big single leading up to this with Dilemma. That thing was getting millions of views within the first couple days. But when we really do a deep dive, that song didn't even chart on the UK singles chart, which proves exactly what I was saying the entire time in my previous video, that the song was only getting big because of Sidhu Moose Walla, not because of Stefflon Don't. And again, I just have to be very honest, she's not an album artist. I don't think anyone listens to Stefflon Don't, and again, I have to say, I mean this with no disrespect, but I don't think anyone listens to her and thinks, I can't wait to hear a full body of work. Yeah, her singles do well, relatively speaking, of course, because I do have to point out that none of her singles have charted since 2019. But is anyone looking to hear 20 tracks at once from Stefflon Don't? I say no. Probably not, I can't lie. Well, definitely not, because we have the numbers to prove it. I mean, 791 sales. Someone working at Curry's could have sold a fridge and made that same amount, I can't lie. It's actually insane. And this is also why I will say that artists, please don't get blinded by the numbers that you're seeing on your social media. Don't get blinded by the fact that you have 4 million followers or however million followers. I mean, she had 4 million followers but couldn't even get 4,000 sales. Like, you know what I mean? So just because people are following you doesn't mean they're supporting you. I guarantee, let's be honest, most of those 4 million is probably like 3 million guys who are lost in over our IG photos. So building that core fan base is really essential in times like this.
Yeah, that's true. Now let's go back to my nigga on the floor.
Now, in the case of Headie One, again, he basically went triple custard creams as well with 2,500 sales. I mean, 2,500 sales for an artist of his caliber. I mean, the album's called The Last One, and it might as well really be the last one with sales like that. I can't lie, he deserves not to drop ever again. You get it? Because I don't. Only thing is that this one is slightly more concerning because Headie One has a proven track record of delivering stellar singles, but also delivering stellar bodies of work as well that people can enjoy. I mean, if we compare this effort to his last album, which was Edna, that album went #1 and sold over 15,000 first week. And then this album goes number 52 and sells 2,500. Like, it's not really making sense how we got here. And I know it's not because the album is trash, because I've heard the album and I've heard multiple people tell me that this album is a quality body of work that Headie's produced. So I think with Headie One, the situation is slightly more complicated. Headie One has honestly, he's lost a bit of steam since Edna's drop. Like let's be real. I would say Edna is where he peaked in terms of popularity and in terms of mainstream appeal. And I actually think that leads me quite perfectly onto my first reason why his project flopped, and that's due to a lack of a big single. Now, if we go back to Edna, of course, he had that massive single push with the Only You freestyle with Drake, which went number 5 on the UK singles chart. And then he had the Ain't It Different song with Stormzy and AJ Tracy, which I believe went number 2 on the charts as well. And then he had the Princess Cut song with Young T and Bugsy, which went number 11 on the charts as well. So these were all in the run up to the album. He had these 3 big singles that were bubbling up, which people were enjoying. They were going off in the clubs. And of course, this was getting people excited for the full Headie One project. But if we fast forward to the last one, I mean, the first single he dropped was that song with Stormzy. I'll be real, that song's trash. I'm just gonna say it, that song is trash, man. Sorry, that song is trash.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's not trash, but it's like, it's dead, man. It's just a dead tune. I don't know what to tell you. It's just dead. And I mean, did it really have any impact? People talked about it for about a couple days, maybe a week at the most, and then no one gave a toss. Like, it charted at number 33, which is okay, I guess, but definitely expected better considering the 2 artists that are on the track. And then he dropped 2 more singles in the run up to the album. One of them was with H, and neither of those could even get a sniff on the UK singles chart. So I think you can clearly see the difference here. The UK's interest in Headie has been fading, unfortunately. And if you combine that with the singles that he dropped for this album, that they just don't have the it factor like they once did. And then that all starts to add up to the poor results that we're seeing from Headie One. Like, obviously, I know he dropped the collab album with K-Trap last year, but again, I mean, I don't really think that album had much, if any, impact, to be honest. I mean, Parchinoir was a good song from the project, and the song with Clavish was big as well, because Clavish has been popping last year. But other than that, I don't think any songs from that album really had any impact, to be honest. I couldn't even name you any other songs from that album. I don't even know what the song with Clavish is called. I can't lie to you. And then before that, the last single that he had on his own was Martin's Sofa, which I believe was like in 2022. So yeah, he's basically been 2 years without a big solo hit. So yeah, I don't think the rollout here was handled as appropriately as it should have been, to be honest. And yeah, not looking good, bruv. Secondly, for Headie One, I think the promo side of things was, I mean, I didn't see him do the crazy antics that SteffLon Don't was trying to do to promote the album. He actually had quite a diversified promo rollout. He did a magazine cover, he performed at Glastonbury, he was doing some collab with a tattoo artist, and he had an interview with Amazon Music. I think he even did a Mad About Bars as well. So I can't lie, he was putting himself out there. But unfortunately, it looks like none of the buzz that he was gaining from these moves could equate to actual album sales. I mean, his Mad About Bars didn't even hit 500,000 views. The tattoo artist collab, that hasn't even hit 30k views from the time of me recording this. So yeah, man, I think it goes back to my original point that people's interest in Headie One is beginning to dwindle. At least from a mainstream perspective. Will Headie One still have the streets on lock? Of course. But unfortunately, it's not the streets that buy your albums, and it's definitely not the streets that buy tickets to your shows. So I don't really know what Headie One has to do from here. I'll have to have a real think about it. But he definitely needs to, him and his team need to sit down, evaluate exactly why this project has flopped, and just come back stronger and harder. Pause. But yeah, I don't think we've ever had a more accurate time to say this, but in the words of Headie One,
It's a bit of a sticky one still.
But let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Have you heard SteffLon Don's album? Have you heard Headie One's album? Do you think they deserve the sales that they got? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 3,000 subs. You already know what time it is. You follow my personal IG at LiTTyENT. I make videos on Twitter as well, so you might as well follow me on there, because what else do you do with your life? Absolutely nothing, mate. All right, bet. Peace.
Oh, you ain't know I could sing.